Hello and welcome back, you guys, to another episode of Insufferable with me, your insufferable host, Lindsay. How? Episode 64. Um, what in the fuck is going on, you guys? Feeling good. I'm feeling kind of mid, actually. Well, maybe not mid. I don't know. How am I feeling? Do you guys know? Because obviously I don't. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm recording late again. I have been recording late. I need to get a notebook and write down talking points for the pod so I can stay organized and I know what I want to talk about when I hop up in this seat and hold you at gunpoint to listen to this episode. So if you're listening, thank you very much. I'm so sorry. I don't really ever have a good idea about what I'm going to say, but that's okay. We're getting better. Meanwhile, I'm 64 episodes in and I'm still talking about how I'm getting better. Anyways, guys, last week's episode was titled I'm Back on My Bullshit, and that I still am. I still am on my bullshit, and guess what? Feels good. It feels good, and I recommend you get on your bullshit. And I know I said that last week, but if you weren't able to get on your bullshit over the course of the last week after you listen to last week's episode, I recommend now getting on your bullshit if you haven't been able to lately. It's nice to be back on your bullshit. Okay, sometimes people get back on their bullshit in the summertime, brat summer of it all, hot girl summer. I am not into hot anything. I don't like the heat. I don't like sweating. I don't like being uncomfortable. Unfortunately for me, as the Goldilocks is actually crazy. I should write that down. Goldilocks of it all. I like the weather to be perfect. I like the sun to be shining, but not too brightly where it's going to affect my vision or I have to squint. I do have a really insane wrinkle on it's my 11s, but I only have one. So it's just the one. I go into a Botox studio and I'm like, hey, can I get some Botox for my one? Which is it seems crazy to ask for. Botox really isn't going to help. I don't know what's going to help. I need to get back on my tretinoin journey. But the thing is I can't see anything ever. Even with my glasses on, I am doing this all the time. And I'm also like judging hard with my uh, I emote. I emote with my face, and God forbid I emote. You know what I mean? Especially in the age of all of the best actors you've ever known getting so much Botox that they can't even emote in scenes anymore. They have frozen faces, which is sucks. But I be emoting too much and I have this deep wrinkle in the middle of my forehead, which is whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't wake up every day being like, I can't believe this is here. But sometimes when I'm doing my skincare, I'm like, damn, how do I smooth this thing out? You know what I mean? I feel like I need to put some putty in there and fill it in. So, yeah, I need to get back on my tretinoin journey, which reminds me, me and the girls, I don't know if I talked about this on here yet or before, but me and the girls, we want to do a medical retreat to good old Tijuana. Okay, we're going to Mexico to get some medical treatments because here in the States, the land of the free, the home of the brave, you can't even get a damn cavity filled without bankrupting yourself and your entire family. So I think it would be nice to go down to Mexico. I have a passport now. I barely just got one this year. Um, and go to Mexico and get me a cute little MRI for my back. Okay, I know I feel like I got a slip disc or a bulging disc in my low back. I know I've spoken about that many a times on this podcast. It's getting worse every day. Okay. And I don't even want to know the cost of an MRI in the States. Okay. So we need to do a medical um, trip to Mexico, get a couple cavities filled, get a couple MRIs, maybe see a dermatologist, get some teeth cleaning, the works. Imagine ordering the works as far as medical procedures goes. And that seems pretty luxurious to me. So I need to go to Mexico. But the reason I brought that up is because you can get medications allegedly in Mexico at the airport. They just be having medications there. And I know they got a lot of tretinoin in there, at the border and at the airport and stuff. It's like super chill over there, okay? You got to pay a lot of money for that stuff here. So I need to take me a nice trip to Mexico to get some damn treatments, girl. I really need to get that MRI. I really need to get it. I know I should be doing my core exercises and working on my core and everything, but girl, I need to see it. I need to visually see what my vertebrae looks like. Okay? I think once I see it, once I see the issue, and maybe it's an easy fix, or maybe it's something that I'm too far gone. Maybe I can no longer fix the issue, you know. Maybe I'm past the point of no return type situation, but I just need to know. They'll give you a full body fucking DEXA scan over there, and probably cost a couple of grand to get all the procedures that I want to get. Well, not procedures, just simple help would suffice. I need to figure out some stuff. And you cannot just go to the doctor here without actually bankrupting your entire life. So medical Mexico retreat coming soon. I'll let you guys know how it goes. What are you looking for, Frank? You look like you're looking for something. Did you lose your vape? Go get it. I don't know what's going on with that kid. But anyways, yeah, I need to get on my tretinoin journey. I have actually used tretinoin, but I was prescribed it, and I paid $90 for a tube, which is insane. But it was a lower dose. They start you on a lower dose because it is strong. And there's a area like you have to like wean yourself onto it. And yeah, and I don't know, $90 for a 3-month supply is just it's more than I have. Okay. I can't even buy a stick of gum up in this bitch. So yeah, it's more than I got. So Mexico trip, we're gonna get all fixed up over there. Anyway, in other news, we are approaching spooky season, which I am pretty excited about. We have Frank, what are you doing? Are you gonna come up over here? All right, can you guys see this? Oh no, now they're gonna fight. Okay, everybody chill. We're on air right now. Okay? Just chill. Sorry about that, guys. Motherhood, it's crazy. Braun, chill. He's not even doing anything. Sorry, guys. Anyways, it's spooky season. Okay, and I just saw an ad for a Insidious like haunted house, like the movie Insidious. And these haunted houses are beginning to be too much. This particular one I just saw an ad for like literally 10 minutes ago was like you sign a waiver. First of all, signing a waiver for a haunted house is insane. It's crazy. It's crazy, and I simply cannot get on board for that. Okay, when you sign a waiver to get onto like a ride at the fair because they know low key it's very dangerous and you could probably pass away. They make you sign a waiver. Um I've signed waivers before to participate in things. Okay, I signed a waiver when I went to Sky Zone, which is like the fucking trampoline place, right? Like it's an entire gymnasium full of trampolines and you bounce all around and play games or whatever on trampolines or whatever. It's for kids, okay? But I had gone several years back because a friend of a friend, they were uh revamping the business of Sky Zone or whatever. That was their job, is they like go in and they like figure out like why is this place not making money, and then they figure out how to like get all your shit up, whatever. Okay, so we were kind of like guinea pigs where there was nobody really around, and they were like, we need you to eat from the concession stand and tell us how the food is, and we need you to go bounce around and tell us like how fun it is or how not fun it is or whatever. Like we were basically just like reporting back for this like person. And it was low key fun. But we did have to sign a waiver to play in the Sky Zone. Okay. And this was not that long ago. I was a full blown adult, by the way. Okay. This is like a kid's place usually. But Sky Zone was cool. I did sign a waiver for that. This is crazy, you guys. This is like absolutely insane. Just lay down. Right here. The kids are restless, you guys. Okay. Brian, shut up. Good God. So I signed a waiver for the Sky Zone. Okay. And I also signed a waiver when I went to Glen Ivy. Okay. And it kind of freaks me out. I went to Glen Ivy by myself, which I don't recommend, by the way. Glen Ivy is not that tranquil of a place. It's kind of like a pool club. It's like a Vegas pool club. So if you really think you're going to get some relaxation at the Glen Ivy, no, girl. It is giving you kind of party at the Glen Ivy. So you got to go with your girls, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad time, and shout out to Glen Ivy. It's not a bad time, but I'm saying that it's not as relaxing as you might think it is. Okay. There's a bar serving alcohol. You could get a fucking daiquiri. You know what I mean? It's not a spa. It is a spa. I mean, you could get the massage or the facial or whatever, and you can do all of that, but that's first of all, it's extra money, and it's in a separate place. Okay. But Glen Ivy, they have like 20 pools. That's like their whole thing, is they got all different kinds of pools, and they have they're all different kinds of pools. They have the fucking sulfur, like salt pools. It smells like farts, but it makes your skin really soft. And all this shit. Like, there's just hella pools. I thought it was going to be very relaxing. It was not. Okay. There was actually an MLM retreat there when I was there. Okay. And I was trying to swim in this pool by myself, which, looking back on it now, like me trying to swim in a pool and like have like a nice time by myself. And in this same pool, there was like a group of people, probably like 15 people in the pool, and one or two people sitting on the edge of the pool, like with their feet in the pool. And the person who was sitting on the edge of the pool was like basically giving like a salesperson pep talk about Like, it's good to celebrate our wins. That's why we're here today at Glen Ivy, to celebrate with each other. But it's important to keep our sales up, and like kind of like doing a pep talk for like when they go back to work. Like, they need to be recruiting more people and selling more product and doing more giveaways. And it was literally an MLM meeting, a pyramid scheme meeting right in front of my face, while I was like trying to swim around and like be tranquil. They were having a fucking team meeting in this pool. Okay. There was 20 other pools. I hit them all. All day. I was bouncing around to different pools. But I'm just saying, if you go to Glen Ivy, go with your girls. Oh, that's what I signed a waiver for. Okay, so the way, and I'll tell you why this experience was ruined for me as well, aside from the waiver situation. There was this thing that was in my package that I got, for what I was supposed to do when I was there. Within my package, I went to the grotto. Okay, the grotto is an underground cave. Okay, and a grotto is actually what it is. Like, that's not just the name that it is at Glen Ivy. A grotto is a small cave or hollow place. It can be found naturally near water, or people can build it in a garden as a pretty cool resting spot. Thank you, AI overview, you piece of shit. I always forget when I Google stuff, it's going to be AI overview. So a grotto is just that. It's a small cave or hollow place. Okay. So at Glen Ivy, you get in this elevator, and it's a small elevator, by the way, which I hate. And you go underground. And once you get down there, an employee paints your whole body with a giant paintbrush in this shea butter, whipped body butter situation. Okay. So you are greased up to the gills. Okay. And then you sit in the grotto, which is a small cave or hollow place. Okay. The grotto is beautiful. Okay. It's man made, obviously, but it's a cave underground, but there's like a skylight. So you could see some of the sunlight under there. There's like a waterfall. There's all these water features in there. And there's giant, like, rocks, like chairs and benches made of rocks that you just lay around. Okay. And it's kind of hot down there. Okay. It's not really sauna hot, but it is like, it's pretty warm. Let me see. Grotto, Glen Ivy, hot springs. Okay. The grotto. Reject all cookies. Thank you. This is your skin softening, sensuous, and subterranean journey. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Of course, my phone ran out of storage. Would this even be an Insufferable podcast if that didn't happen at least once? Probably not. But anyways, this is your skin softening, sensuous, and subterraneous journey. And it is so much fun. Descending into our secret cave and being painted neck to toe with a warm aloe vera, coconut, eucalyptus, shea butter, and lavender mask. Warm your body in the gently heated cavern as the silky formula soaks further into your skin as your body heats and your pores open. When you're ready, step into the next room to rinse off under the cascading water before moving into the final cooler grotto to relax with tea, water, and fruit. And there's some pictures here. I will enter them if possible so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the only part of Glen Ivy that is kind of relaxing, okay? But it wasn't relaxing for me, and I'll tell you why. There was a group of 3 girls who were there together. Like I said, you got to go with your girls. And there was a group of 3 girls that were there together, okay? One of them was not in the grotto, and the other 2 were. Okay, so while we were all laying on these rocks trying to relax and soak up the aloe vera juices in our skin and our pores, These two girls were venting about the third girl and how she's been having issues with her man and this and that and this and that, like everything under the sun. They're like totally sitting there complaining about the third friend who's there on the premises. She's just not in the grotto with them too. So instead of me being able to relax, I had to listen to the tea about this third girl who's probably not even the issue. These other two girls are probably the issue. And the third one seemed cooler to me, in my opinion. Okay. And as much as I love to overhear tea and drama and stuff like that, I don't want to do it in this setting. Unfortunately, I'm trying to chill. Um, and I don't have any girls to kiki with. And so I don't want to be hearing you kiki. You know what I mean? In that moment when I was laying in there trying to relax, listening to these girls talk shit about their third friend, I was like, this is not a place you come alone. You just don't come here by yourself. It's not that relaxing. It's really not. Like, it's cool to do with a group of girls so you can all bond and vent and just be together as women, which I love more than anything. It's not that fun when you don't have your girls with you. Okay, so shout out to Glen Ivy, but you got to go as a group. And I only brought that up because when I went into the grotto alone, by the way, before you go down, they make you sign a waiver. They make you sign a waiver. And that freaked me out because I was by myself. I was probably high too. I probably still was smoking weed at that time. I was probably stony baloney, and I was like, what's going on down there? Because they're like, I'm like reading this waiver, and it's like, it's really hot down there. And if you're claustrophobic, you might not be able to do this activity. And it's important that you know that it's an enclosed space and it's really hot. And you can't really escape like easily. So you should know that before going on. That's what this waiver was saying. And I was like, I asked the fucking dude who was working at the desk. I'm like, what's going on down there? Is it scary? He's like, no, it's not scary. It's just like, it's just warm and you just have fucking shea butter all over your pores. So you'd be getting sweaty. He's like, are you claustrophobic? I'm like, well, fucking depends on the situation, I guess. How tight is it down there? You can see from these pictures, it's not that tight. It's not that tight. So yeah, that waiver got me fucked up. I did sign it and I did descend in the tiny elevator down to the grotto, and I tried to enjoy myself, but those three girls kind of ruined it for me, or two girls ruined it for me. But that's the only thing you catch me signing a fucking waiver for, by the way. Sky Zone and the grotto at goddamn Glen Ivy Hot Springs. But if you are out here signing a waiver to go into a haunted house, you should know. Braun, can you chill? He got his own claws stuck on the couch and was pissed at me about it. That's crazy, dude. Crazy. Anyways, don't be signing no fucking waivers to get into haunted houses. You guys are fucking got me fucked up. And you guys know that I love horror movies and I like to be scared like in a movie setting. But you will not catch me at no fucking haunted house, no haunted maze. Absolutely not. When I was young, we used to throw Halloween parties. Like my mom was really big on Halloween parties. And one of these Halloween parties, my dad and my brother built a haunted maze in our backyard because there was a lot of kids who lived on our block. And they built this haunted house in our backyard so that the kids could like walk through it and it could be like a whole fucking thing. And it was actually really cool looking back on it, but I was too scared. And my brother and my dad were the scare actors in this haunted house. Okay. My dad was dressed like the Grim Reaper or something. And he stood in the corner. And then when people would like walk past, he would like scare you, whatever, classic haunted house shit. And then my brother we had this like coffin for whatever reason. Like it wasn't a real coffin, but it was like a big wood, like coffin shaped box that you could actually fit a whole person in. Not a whole person, like a child. Well, it wasn't a child coffin, to be clear. It was a prop, essentially. It was a prop. So my brother was in the coffin, and when you walked past the coffin, he would like open it and scare you. Okay. They're building this thing all day. There's black trash bags all over. Like they line the whole thing like in black tarps and black trash bags to make it really dark in there. And then they had some LED lights in there, whatever, spooky stuff like cobwebs, spiders hanging from the ceiling, like all this shit. I wish we had pictures of it. Maybe we do. I'll text my mom and see if we do. But I would not go in. I would not go in. Even though I knew the only two people in there doing the scares was my brother and my dad. I can't for some reason convince myself that that experience is fake. These are actors. There is no real danger. I don't like being scared like that. And fucking heaven forbid. Sorry. I don't like it. Okay, I've been roped in to going to Not Scary Farm before and walking through those mazes, and I fucking hate it. And I went there maybe like 2 or 3 times in high school. I went to Not Scary Farm with my friends, and each time I was like, I am going to fucking have a heart attack. Like I am uncomfortably scared. Like I am so bad at this. I don't like it. And each time I go, I'm like, this is fake. These are actors. They can't touch you. You're not in danger. But my fucking brain doesn't know the difference. Like, I cannot convince my brain that it's not real. So I hate those fucking shits. But anyways, this yeah, and then Morrow fucking roped me into doing one too. Shout out to Morrow, but his birthday's in October and he always likes to go to horror nights and stuff. And I went to Universal Horror Nights, and I've been to the Queen Mary one, and I've been to Not Scary Farm. Like I have paid my dues. I have paid my dues, and that's it. That's the bottom line. I don't like those things. Don't fucking try to bring me to them. Okay. Same reason why I'm not going to fucking Raging Waters. I don't want to go down no fucking water slide. I'm scared. Okay. I'm not going to Six Flags. I will not be going on any of those rides. There's no point in bringing me. I'm not going to pay for a ticket. I'm not going to allow for you to pay me a ticket. There's no point. Do not belong there. It's just not, it's not for me. But of course, I want to spend Morrow's birthday with him. And he was like, oh, like we're going to do the haunted hayride. And I'm like, okay, well, what is that? What is that? Because I want to be there for you on your birthday, but what is it? And he's like, it's literally like you just go on the back of this truck, like a pickup truck. And it takes you through like the Hollywood Hills of sorts. And there are scare people like throughout, like, you know, scattered throughout the hills, and they come and they scare you while you're standing, by the way, in the back of a pickup truck. You and like however many people they can shove in the back of this pickup truck. And it's a little one too. It's not a fucking Ford F-150. It's like a small little truck. So it's probably like you and like 10 or 15 other people standing in the back of this pickup truck. And there's a little fence around it. Let me see if I can look up a picture. And there are scare actors. What did I call it? Haunted hayride. They're probably not even going to have pictures of what I'm talking about because it was such a small portion of the night, which is what I'm getting to right now. Yeah, they don't even fucking have it. They don't even have any pictures of it. So anyway, basically, like, you know how sometimes you go to a place and you take a tram to get to the actual, like you park somewhere and then you take a tram. Wait, this is kind of an accurate photo, but we were standing in this truck. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to find it. This is the haunted hayride though in Los Angeles. I was like, you know what? Okay, I think I can grin and bear this because I want to be there for Morrow's birthday because he's my bestie. And he likes to go to these spooky things, and I'm going to suck it up, even though I know I don't like it. No, it's not for me, but I'm going to suck it up because it's not about me. It's about Morrow. It's his birthday. Okay. we get on this thing and I get pretty scared, but I'm like, I'm in this truck. It feels like innocent. It feels safer than being in a fucking enclosed haunted house maze where you're trying to fucking escape and everyone's scaring you. Okay. So, anyways, we go on this haunted hayride and it takes you to the actual venue, which is literally Horror Nights with the fucking mazes and shit. And I didn't know, and Mara didn't tell me on purpose. He wanted to rope me in to getting there, and then now I have to go through all the fucking mazes with everybody because what am I gonna do? Stand out by myself? Where there's scare actors fucking going around scaring people, and I'm like, I look like the perfect target for that. Kind of messed up. So, yeah, as soon as we got off the off the truck, I was thinking in my head like, "Damn, that was short as fuck." Like, I can't believe you wanted to come all the way down here to go on a fucking truck for 0.5 seconds and then there's some food trucks at the end, like, I don't know. But as it turns out, it was an entire haunted maze situation. There was a bunch of haunted mazes and everything, and I had to go in them. Okay. And that was like in 2021 or 2022. Or maybe it was before that. I think it's when I had a mullet. So maybe it was 2019. But it was not that long ago, and I haven't been back since. Okay. You will not be catching me at these things anymore. I know that I don't like them. I am not interested in being scared in that way. And so when I saw that ad earlier for the Insidious um haunted maze or whatever, and it's literally you're crawling through it, first of all, on your hands and knees, crawling through a maze which kind of looks like the vents, in some movie when they're like escaping through the vents and they're crawling through it. That probably does happen in Insidious. Like, I stopped watching those like 7 movies ago. They did making too many of them. Um but you're crawling through it and you have to sign a fucking waiver. And there's all these people all contorted in there and fucking scaring you around every corner or whatever. Dude, I will not walk through a maze, let alone crawl through one. It's a no for me. And another friend told me that she went to a haunted house that was you had to crawl through some shit too. And it was claustrophobic. And then once you get in, there's no way to turn around because it's so small. You have to crawl through to the end. And I think in that particular one, like it was like sound design that was supposed to be the scary part. Like the scary part was like the sound or lack thereof while you're crawling through this dark tunnel where you can't turn around. No, no, girl. You won't catch me doing none of that bullshit. Do not sign me up for that. And do not rope me into it. I will get pissed and our friendship will end. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call it if you take me to one of those again. Because that's a big no-no for me. Yeah, and I went to the Queen Mary one too, which that one is pretty scary as well, but also the Queen Mary is incredibly haunted. Okay, I don't think you need scare actors to be on the Queen Mary scaring people. Okay, I think the reality of how haunted the Queen Mary is scary enough, but that's just my opinion. Um, and let me see, McKay Manor, I think it was called. There was a haunted house called McKay Manor. Yeah, that's what this is. And okay, let's fucking see what AI overview has to say about. If you meant McKamey Manor, the infamous extreme torture style haunted attraction run by Russ McKamey, a fucking creep, by the way. Rather than the manor name McKay, it's an intense, controversial experience. Originally from San Diego and now based in Tennessee. McKamey Manor. Yeah, girl, this shit's fucked up. 2.1 stars. McCamey Manor is an American operated operation founded by Russ McCamey and based in Summertown, Tennessee. It has been described as an extreme haunted attraction and has drawn sustained controversy over participant safety, consent, and business practices. So I'm not going to get into it here because it's a long story. I've watched a lot of breakdowns on this. But oh, they still have an Instagram? Bro, it's a hell no for me. Like this shit is they put bugs on you and maggots and they can't touch you and they spit on you and they pour blood on you and shit. It's like, girl, you will not catch me doing none of this shit. None of this shit. Um Yeah, and that's what haunted houses have become. People are so fucking insatiable that they actually want to be tortured. And I don't love that. And I'm not interested in it. So spooky season is upon us. I think we are getting to the point with these haunted houses that they're getting a little bit out of control. Do not invite me to any of those, by the way. I will not be going to that. However, I do want to dress up again this year. Last year, I did manifest a place to go to dress up, and it was small and intimate. It was just me and my three girls and our dogs at one of our houses, and we all dressed up as clowns, and that was super fun. Okay, I don't know if you remember, but last year on the pod, I did a podcast episode where I did like a trial run for my makeup that night. And it's my lowest performing episode on the channel. So if you want to go back and watch that and get those views up, that'd be great. It is kind of horrible. Like it's a bad episode because I'm not good at makeup. But it's also kind of funny too because the makeup turns up really bad, but it doesn't look that bad on the camera. So you're probably like, dang, you're really beating yourself up over this. But yeah, basically that's my lowest performing episode. And I can't even remember what I talked about on the episode anyway. But anyways, that's going to be it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Insufferable with me, your host, Lindsay Howe. And I will see you next week. Bye.